guys, it's Miss Collins, and we're getting ready to move to Module 2, Lesson 1. Module 2 is a very, very short module, and in this module we are going to be learning about grams and kilograms and kilometers. So we're learning about metric measurement. All right, so 1 centimeter is going to be equal to 1 meter, okay? So 200 centimeters is going to be equal to 2 meters. 300 centimeters is going to be equal to 3 meters. 800 centimeters is going to be equal to 8 meters. And 500 centimeters is going to be equal to 5 meters. All right, now we're going to go backwards over here. So if I have 1 meter, how many centimeters is that? Well, that's 100. If I have 2 meters, how many centimeters is that? Well, that's 200. If I have 3 meters, how many centimeters is that? Well, that's 300. And if I have 7 centimeters, how many meters is that? Whoops, that's 700. Okay, let me scroll down. Okay, oh, there we go. There we go. Let's do a couple more. If I have 4 meters, that is worth 400 centimeters. If I have 9 meters, that is worth 900 centimeters. So 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Centi means 100. So the word centi, that means 100. Okay, so centi means 100, and in the FloCat video that's attached to this lesson, King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. Centi means 100. Okay. Next, okay, so if I have 150 centimeters and I have 1 meter, well, I need to stop and I need to think that 1 meter is really equivalent to 100 centimeters, right? Okay, so if that 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters, then over here what I would have left is 50 centimeters. All right? Does that make sense? Let's scroll down. All right, so let's try it down here. 1 meter would leave me with 80 centimeters left because I have 100 plus 80 is 180. If I have 120 centimeters, then 1 meter would be 100, and what I would have left over would be 20. Here I have 125 centimeters. 1 meter is going to be 100, and what I have left over is 25. Here I have 105 centimeters. 1 meter is going to be 100, and what I have left over is just 5. Here I have 107 centimeters. 1 meter is going to be 100, and what I have left over is going to be 7. All right, so if I have 2 meters, that's equal to 1 meter plus 1 meter, okay, right? Or that is equal to 1 meter plus 100 centimeters if it asks for it in centimeter form. Okay, 3 meters would be 2 meters plus 100 more centimeters, or 1 more meter. If I have 6 meters, that's 5 meters plus 1 more meter, but that 1 more meter is worth 100 centimeters. All right, so Martha, George, and Elizabeth, they are having a sprinting contest, and they have a combined distance of 10,000 meters. Martha sprinted for 3,200 meters, and George sprinted for 2,094 meters. How far did Elizabeth sprint? All right, so let's look at this. Let me get my pen and let's see if I can write on here. Okay. Ooh, I'm doing it. Okay. So my total, my whole, is 10,000. And then I have 3 parts. Sorry that this is not perfect. And my 3 parts are Martha's meters, George, and Elizabeth. Okay, so I have to subtract the part I know. I know Martha's. So let me go back to here. I know I have 10,000. And I know I need to subtract Martha's. Okay, so Martha's is going to be 3,200 that we're going to subtract from 10,000. Okay, so 10,000 minus 3,200, I'm going to have to come here and I'm going to have to regroup. So we're going to come here and I'm going to regroup this over to my thousands place, but I still don't have enough here in my hundreds place. So I'm going to need to regroup over to my hundreds place. Okay, so 10 minus 2, that's going to be 8. And then 9 minus 3, that's going to be 6. 0 minus 0, of course, is 0. 0 minus 0, of course, is 0. So I have 6,800 once I take off Martha. But I'm not finished yet because I still need to take off George. Okay, and George sprinted 2,094. So 2,094. Okay, and I'm going to subtract off George, and I'm going to switch my colors so that you all can see what I'm doing. Okay, I can't do 0 minus 4, I don't have enough. Can't do 0 minus 9, I don't have enough. So I'm going to come here to my 8. That 8 is going to become a 7. I'm going to move over my 10. I still don't have enough in my ones place. That 10 needs to become a 9. Now I have 10 in my ones place. 10 minus 4 is going to be 6. 9 minus 9 is going to be 0. 7 minus 0 is going to be 7, and 6 minus 2 is going to be 4. So that tells me that Elizabeth sprinted 4,700. Elizabeth sprinted 4,706 meters. Okay, so that's how far Elizabeth sprinted. Okay, hope everybody understood what we did here. Perfect. Moving on. All right. So a centimeter is 100 times smaller than a meter. So something we might measure in centimeters would be like a paper clip, okay? We might measure that in centimeters. Let me make this all smaller. Okay, so we might measure a paper clip in centimeters. Another thing that we might measure in centimeters would be a bug. Another thing we might measure in centimeters would be a fingernail. Okay, all of these things are small things. Something we might measure in meters would be maybe like a, let me fix this before I start typing. Maybe we might measure a wall in meters. Maybe we might measure the backyard in meters. Maybe we might measure a road, probably not a road, that's probably kilometers. Maybe we might measure the basement in meters. But then we have even bigger than that. We have kilometers. And so with kilometers, some things we might measure with kilometers might be a run. Like, so if we go on a run, we might measure that in kilometers. A road, we might measure that in kilometers. A trip, like if we're going on a trip, how long it's going to take us to get there, we might measure that in kilometers. So centimeters are tiny, meters are what we would measure like our room or our backyard, and kilometers are huge. Okay, so let's come up here. Centimeters, if I come here, are 100 times smaller than a meter, and kilometers are 1,000 times bigger. Okay, so the meter is our unit. The meter is like the ones place. The meter is the unit, okay? That's one. And then when we add these prefixes and these suffixes, so we add in centi or we add in kilo to the word, then it starts to change what it means. Centi means 100 times smaller, kilo means 1,000 times bigger. All right, so let's look at distances. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So 2 kilometers is going to be 2,000 meters. 3 kilometers is going to be 3,000 meters. 7 kilometers is going to be 7,000 meters, and 70 kilometers is going to be 70,000 meters. Okay, so if I have 1 kilometer and I have 500 meters, we're going to convert that down to just meters. So remember, meters is like the ones place, it's smaller. Kilometers is the thousands place. So this would be 1,500 meters. Okay? All right. So it's 1,000 meters plus 500 meters is 1,500. Okay, let's do it again. So let's look at this. I have 5 kilometers plus 30 meters, okay? So this one is going to be 5 in the thousands place because kilo means thousand, but then I have no hundreds and I have 30 left. So it's going to be 5,030 meters. 2,500 meters is equal to how many kilometers? Okay, well 2,500, come on, there we go. 2,500 is going to be 2 kilometers because that's in the thousands place, and then what's left over is 500 meters. Okay, 5,005 meters is going to be equal to 5 kilometers, and then it's going to have a leftover value of 5 meters. 5 kilometers, 5 meters. Perfect. Okay, so if I have 5 kilometers plus 2,500 meters, okay, well I need to stop and I need to think. First, I need to simplify the 2,500 meters. So 2,500 meters is going to be 2 kilometers plus 500 meters. Okay, so then what we need to do is add our kilometers together. So 5 kilometers plus 2 kilometers is going to be 7 kilometers. And then we would have 500 meters left. So 5 kilometers plus 2,500 meters is 7 kilometers and 500 meters left. Okay? We could also do it this way. We could change it around. We could go 5,000 meters plus 2,500 meters would be 7,500 meters. So we could start by adding it in meters. And then we can change that over to say that is equivalent to 7 kilometers and 500 meters. Okay. There we go. When we add meters, the answer, okay, we got the same answer both times. Let's go. All right, so for this one, is it going to be easier to solve this using the standard algorithm or the simplifying? Okay, so should we convert all of these down to meters and then add? Or should we add them separate, kilometers and meters? Okay, so for Miss Collins, I really think you could do it either way. But here it is both ways. Let's look at it. And I like this way a lot for kids. Let me get a line because I really want to put a line right here. When I add in mixed form, what I want to do is totally separate my kilometers from my meters, and remember that they are kind of like place value. They're in separate spots. So this would be 5 kilometers, okay? Make that smaller because that's ginormous. Okay, and then over here when we go to add 4 plus 6, that's 10. Hang on, I'm going to do this with a marker. 4 plus 6, that's 10, so we're going to put a 0 here, 1 up here. 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 3 more is 13. So then 1 goes up here. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. Now when we get right here, here's where we have to stop and think. I have 1,000 right here in my meters. Once it gets to 1,000, I need to move that over to my thousands place, and this 5 is now going to become a 6. So there's regrouping involved here. So it's going to be 6 kilometers, 130 meters. Okay. But I could also just add it here and then convert, and that might be easier for you. There's two ways to solve this. I can solve it by parts, by adding the kilometers and the meters separately, or I can solve it by converting everything down to meters and then adding. So 4 plus 6 is going to be 10. 3 plus 9 is 12, plus 1 more is 13, so same math we were just doing. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. Only right here, look, I just go ahead and carry that 1 over. So then I've got 1 plus 1 plus 4 is 6. So 6,130 meters is what I got. And then I'm going to convert this. I'm going to convert this right here back into, back into kilometers and meters. So that would be 6 kilometers, 130 meters. Okay, over here I've got 1 kilometer plus 4 kilometers. That's the same as we did here. They're just adding it sideways. I think it's a lot harder to add things sideways. This I do not recommend. Don't recommend that. Either of these two methods, though, I think are fine. Okay, here we go. We're going to try to solve this one just like we did before. And let's see. All right. So one way to solve this is to go ahead and convert this kilometers down to meters. Just convert them all over to meters. Okay, so if I look at this like this, okay, I've got 10,000 for my kilometers, and then I can just subtract. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 4, I cannot do. 0 minus 1, I cannot do. 0 minus 3, I cannot do. I need to regroup. So I'm going to move over 10. Then I need to move from that 10 over to my hundreds place. Then I need to move over to my tens place. Okay, and now I'm ready to subtract. 10 minus 4 is going to be 6. 9 minus 1 is going to be 8. 9 minus 3 is going to be 6. Sorry. Handwriting on the mouse pad is not great. 6,860 meters is my answer, which I could then go ahead and convert to 6 kilometers and 860 meters. What I really want to do is I want to come solve this under the ladybug, because I want to show you the way I like to solve these, the way I recommend solving them. Okay, and it's just easier to do if I switch over to, there we go, to the ladybug. So let me get that pulled up. There we are. Okay, it's there. Let me decrease my brightness. Thank you for being patient. I know I'm having to switch back and forth. Okay, so let me get my problem written down. So my problem is 10 kilometers minus 3 kilometers, 140 meters. All right. Here's the way I like to solve this. First of all, I like to do the separate method, okay, like I did before. So 10 kilometers, it's like a place value place, and we're going to separate the kilometers from the meters because they're different, okay? And then we're going to subtract 3 kilometers, and we're going to subtract 140 meters. Okay, so we stop and we think, I have nothing here. It's just like normal subtraction. I have nothing here. I can't take away 140. The only way to subtract 140 is to regroup. Okay, so here we're regrouping, but we're not regrouping tens and ones and hundreds. We're regrouping kilometers and meters. So I'm going to take one of these kilometers, and it is now going to be 9 kilometers. And 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. Now I have enough that I can subtract. Okay, so I just moved over 1,000 meters. So 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 4 I can't do. I need to regroup here. This is going to be 10, regroup, make it 9 to move over to my hundreds place. 10 minus 4 I can do. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 1 is 8. So I have 860 meters once I subtract that. Okay, now I come back over here to my kilometers. 9 kilometers minus 3 kilometers is 6 kilometers. All right, so I just solved that by hand. Now let me switch back over and show you. That's exactly what's happening right here. They just didn't show it with that line between like Miss Collins did, like the line. I like to have that line between there to keep it separated. I like to keep things separated so that I know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, and then here, they didn't start with 10 and then regroup it over. What they did is they just broke it apart to start with. They took that 9 and broke it apart, or they took that 10 and broke it apart into 9 and 1,000. Kind of like the way we did earlier with the number bond, where we had 10, and then we broke that apart into 9 and then 1,000. Okay, so this is 9 kilometers and 1,000 meters. Does that make sense? Okay, and then this would be the same subtraction that we just did. Okay, over here this way is a lot harder to explain, but I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, so 10 kilometers minus 3 kilometers is going to be 7. Then that 7 comes down here. Then they've regrouped from the 7 to make it 6 and 1,000, and then they did 1,000 minus 40, and 1,000 minus 40 is going to give you that 860 like we did under the document camera. But like I said, really honestly, the way I did it under the document camera is my favorite way to solve them. Okay. Same practice as long jump in PE. On his first attempt, he jumped 1 meter and 47 centimeters. Who just noticed that we switched from doing kilometers to centimeters? Did anybody else just notice that? Pay attention to that, because we just switched from meters and kilometers to meters and centimeters. On his second attempt, he jumped 98 centimeters. And I'll show you why I like doing it the way I said in just a minute. How much farther did Sam jump on his first attempt than he did on his second? So we want to know how much farther, so we're going to be subtracting. Okay, we're going back to the ladybug. Okay, so if you keep it separated and you think of these units as separate place values, right? Like separate things, okay? 1 meter would go in its own spot, and then your centimeters would go over here, okay? And so I've got 47 centimeters minus 98 centimeters. Well, I stop and I think, I can't take away 98 if I only have 47. So I'm going to have to regroup. So I'm going to come over to my meters, okay? And 1 meter is worth 100 centimeters. So I'm going to add 100 right there to my 47. Now I can subtract. 7 minus 8 I cannot do. 4 minus 9 I cannot do. I need to regroup right here. Move over the 10, which is really 14. 14 I'm going to regroup and make it 13, and move over the 10 to make it 17. Okay. 17 minus 8 is going to be 9. 13 minus 9 is going to be 4. So 49 centimeters is all I have left of that problem. All right, let's try a few from the problem set. All right, so we're converting. Let me zoom this in so you all can see it. Okay, I have 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer. Kilo means 1,000. Everybody remember, kilo means 1,000. It is 1,000 times bigger than our unit. Centi means 100. Oops, 100. It is 100 times smaller. This is bigger. Okay, that's bigger. Y'all can't see anything I just wrote. And that is smaller. Okay, so kilo means 1,000. It's 1,000 times bigger. Centi means 100. It's 100 times smaller. All right, now when we look at this, and let me make this big too, that'll help. Okay, now when we look at this, I have 1 kilometer, that is 1,000 meters. I have 4 kilometers, that is 4,000 meters. I have 7 kilometers, that is 7,000 meters. Okay, here I have 18,000 meters. We're going backwards. That's 18 kilometers. All right, Notice the line. Over here, I have centimeters. Over here, I have kilometers. To help my brain right now, I'm going to continue on with my kilometers before I move over to my centimeters. Okay, so let's solve the kilometer problems first. If I have 3 kilometers and 312 meters, I have 3,312 meters. If I have 13 kilometers, 27 meters, I have 13,027, no, nothing in the hundreds, meters. If I have 915 kilometers, I have 915 in my thousands place, nothing in my tens, nothing in my hundreds, 8 meters. That's a little tricky. Be careful with those. Okay, now we're ready to subtract. And I like to subtract with them separated like this. 4 kilometers minus 280 meters. Okay, it's just like normal subtraction. I can't subtract. I've got nothing here. I can't subtract 280. So I'm going to regroup. This is going to be a 3. This is going to be 1,000. Okay, 1,000 minus 280. Now that I can do. I'm going to regroup that 1, move it over, 10. I need to move a 10 over to my tens place. That's 10. 0 minus 0 is 0. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. I have 720 meters left. And then I have 3 kilometers left over here. Okay, the other way that I could have solved this, and again, I'm going to solve it both ways, is to change this 4 kilometers into meters. So I could have 4,000 kilometers minus 280. So this is converted to meters. That's fine. We can do it this way. It is no big deal. So again, we're doing the same thing we did right here. This 4 is going to become a 3. I move over a 10. I still can't subtract in my tens place, so I have to move over and regroup another 10. 0 minus 0 is 0. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. Bring down my 3. 3,720 meters is what I have left. So in just meters, I have 3,720. In mixed form, I have kilometers and meters, 3 kilometers, 720 meters. Okay, so those are the 2 ways I like to solve these. All right, let's do another one. Express your answer in the smaller unit. Okay, so once it's expressed in the smaller unit, meters are the smaller unit. So since it's asking for it to express that way, we'll have to eventually get there. But we're going to start by just adding these. I'm looking, 13 kilometers is definitely bigger. So I'm going to start with this on top. 13 kilometers, 169 meters. Draw a line, separate. 1 kilometer, 431 meters. Okay, we're adding. 9 plus 1 is 10. 6 plus 3 is 9 plus 1 more is 10. 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 1 more is 6. I have 600 meters. And then I have 14 kilometers. All right. Now, if we convert them all, that's fine. We can convert. It is no problem to convert. Then we add. We still want to start with the bigger number because we're adding. So I have 13,169 meters plus 1,431 meters. 9 plus 1 is 10, same math. 6 plus 3 is 9 plus 1 more is 10. 4 plus 1 is 5 plus 1 more is 6. 3 plus 1 is 4. Bring down the 1. 14,600 meters. This is expressed in the smallest form right here. Okay, let's try this one. So I've got 67 kilometers. That's my bigger unit. 230 meters. Separate them. Plus 11,000 kilometers, 879 meters. Now I know this is going to get bigger. It's going to be 1,000 or more. So I know I'm going to have to move over to my kilometers here in a second. 0 plus 9 is 9. 3 plus 7 is 10. Move that up. 8 plus 2 is 10 plus 1 more is 11. Okay, when it's this 11, I literally just put it over here in the thousands place. It is the same. It is the same. Move it over to the thousands place. I have 1,000 more over here. I have 1,000 here, which means that's a kilometer. Move that over. 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 1 more is 9, 6 plus 1 is 7. So I have 79 kilometers, 109 meters. Okay, let's do it again where we convert. So I've got 67,230 plus 11,879. I got a little off there, sorry. These are in meters. We went ahead and converted. 0 plus 9 is 9. 3 plus 7 is 10. 2 plus 8, sorry, that didn't line up good. 2 plus 8 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. 7, 8, 9. 6 plus 1 is 7. 79,109 meters. This is it in the smallest form. Okay, now that we've done kilometers, we really need to stop and reshift our brain, because now it's time to do centimeters. Okay, so I'm even going to change the color of my pen to kind of signify that we're doing something different. Okay, let's go back up. Centi means 100. Kilo, hecto, deci, base. Centi, milli. I forget how the song goes. But King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. Centi, then milli. Okay, deca, I forgot deci. Okay. Listen to the vocabulary song. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So 1 meter is equal to 100. Centi means 100 times smaller. 3 meters is equal to 300 centimeters. 80 meters. Okay, this is a little tricky. It's going to be 80 hundreds, which is really 8,000. Okay, so because we're adding hundreds, we're going to add 2 zeros. Okay, 2 zeros. Here, we're looking for the centimeters. Centi is 100 times bigger. 100 has 2 zeros. So when we're looking for how many meters that is, we're taking off 2 zeros. It's 120. So if we think about that, 120 times 100 is going to be 12,000. Okay, hopefully that made sense to you guys. 3 meters plus 56 centimeters. Well, the 3 meters is going to be worth 300, so this is going to be worth 356 centimeters. The 14 meters is going to be worth 1,400 or 1,400. So this would be 1,400, then we just have the 8 on the end, centimeters. 120 meters is going to be worth 12,000. Okay, that's what we just did right here. 120 is worth 12,000. That gets a little confusing with centimeters, because so 120 is going to be 12,000 and then 46. Okay, centimeters. All right, so now let's look at adding and subtracting. Okay, just like we did before, we're going to kind of keep things separated. I've got 1 meter and 15 centimeters, and I'm subtracting 34 centimeters. So if I keep them separated, okay, that 1 meter, I need to regroup because I can't subtract 15 minus 34. This is now 100 centimeters, so I'm going to put that 100 in front of the 115. Okay, so 115 minus 34, 5 minus 4 is 1. I can't do 3 minus 1, or 1 minus 3. So 11 minus 3 is going to be 8. So I have 81 centimeters left. If I convert first, I would have 115 centimeters minus 34 centimeters. This is the exact same thing. 5 minus 4 is 1. Move over. 11 minus 3 is 8. 81 centimeters. All right, let's try the next one. This one's a little bit bigger. So I have 231 meters minus 31 centimeters. So 231, draw the line. 31 centimeters. Subtract 14 meters. 48 centimeters. Well, 48 is bigger than 31. So I can't subtract that, so I need to come over here and I need to regroup that 1. I don't need to regroup all 200. I need to regroup just one of them, need to move over 1 because 1 is worth 100. So I move over 1 and now I have 131 centimeters. 1 minus 8 I cannot do. Go next door, get 10 more. 11 minus 8 is 3. 2 minus 4 I cannot do. Go next door, get 10 more. I have 12. 12 minus 4 is going to be 8. So I have 83 centimeters. Then I come over here. 0 minus 4 I cannot do. 10 minus 4 is going to be 6. 2 minus 1 is going to be 1. Then there's nothing left there. So I have 216 meters, 83 centimeters. But it's asking for it in the smallest unit. So let's go ahead and convert. Okay, so 231 converted is going to be 231 hundredths. So I'm going to add 2 zeros to it. Okay. 14 meters is going to be converted into 1400. I'm going to add 2 zeros to it. All right, now let's figure out what these numbers are. 231,031, okay, minus 1,448, so 1,448. 1 minus 8 I cannot do. Go next door, get 10 more. 11 minus 8 is 3. 2 minus 4 I cannot do. Go next door, get 10 more. 12 minus 4 is 8. 10 minus 4 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. Bring down the 2. It's going to be 21,683 centimeters, which is the same, 21,683 centimeters. Okay, do you see how that's the same? Okay, so they do match. And last but not least, I have this one. And again, Miss Collins really likes to do it where they're just separated with the line, but I'm showing you both ways so you can do it either way. All right, I have 67 kilometers, 230 meters, 11 kilometers, 879 meters. Of course, I cannot subtract 879. That's not going to work. So I need to come over here to my kilometers, regroup 1 over. And I just realized this switched back to kilometers, which is fine. I had to stop a minute. I'm like, I'm moving over 100? No, it switched back over to kilometers. Pay attention. I'm moving over 1,000. Okay. So 0 minus 9 I cannot do. Go next door, get 10 more. 10 minus 9 is 1. 2 minus 7 I cannot do. Go next door, get 10 more. 12 minus 7 is going to be, 5. Sorry, 5. 1 minus 8 I cannot do. Go next door, get 10 more. 11 minus 8 is going to be 3. So it's 351 meters. 6 minus 1 is 5. 6 minus 1 is 5. 55 kilometers. All right, if I do this the other way, 67,230. I have to convert 11,879 to convert those. Then subtract. 0 minus 9 I cannot do. Go next door, get 10 more. 10 minus 9 is 1. 2 minus 7 I cannot do. Go next door, get 10 more. 12 minus 7 is 5. 1 minus 8 I cannot do. Go next door, get 10 more. 11 minus 8 is 3. 6 minus 1 is 5. 6 minus 1 is 5. 55,351 meters. Okay, guys, you're ready to try your exit ticket. If you need help, please pop back on and ask for help. I am more than happy to help you. I know this is brand new and you're trying to learn how to do it. So I am here to help if you need it. Thanks, guys.